And speaking of magic, they are worshippers of the fire religion of Melisandre. So they might have some magical stuff going on too, maybe. We'll see. At least they believe. Oh yeah, they believe that their god communicates through fire with them. And maybe this is just a trick, or maybe it's magic. We don't know. But we saw the smoke demon of Melisandre, so we know there's kind of must be something about it.
There's definitely something to it. Yeah.
And remember, you remember is the Hound is very afraid of fire. That's about the only thing.
Yeah.
The only thing in the world he's really afraid of. That's his childhood trauma. That's why he's burned, and that's why he, abandoned the king. That said, fuck the king, because he couldn't.
Yeah. Right.
Couldn't fight in the fire.
Hell.
So this is not really a nice little fight for him as usual.
Yeah, but
usually he would enjoy this sort of thing, but not with the fire.
It'll make him more angry, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it helps. I'm not saying he's going to lose.
Nah, I can't lose. He's a cooler character.
But one has to die. This is fight to death.
But Ned Stark. Why wouldn't he die? He was never a cool character. He was just bored.
Yeah, that's true. In the books, he's even made out to be even more boring. It's really described as a boring kind of person. His righteousness and so on. That he never smiles and that he never shows any emotions. He's much more emotional in the show. Ned Stark was much more emotional in the show than even in the books, where it's really described as very cold. The Starks, the Northern Lords, their attributes are also a coldness that the show doesn't show, because then for average viewers it wouldn't be as relatable if they're all cold, emotionless bastards, the Northern people.
Looks like the god likes me more than your butcher's boy. He will.
Magic.
Ouch.
But not today.
This is the religion that has proved the most that it's maybe has something to it.
Yeah.
If I knew where on the wall we were heading, I could tell you. You'd like to know that.
So I don't trust him entirely.
No, wouldn't they?
In castles guarding the
Still,
wall.
he's important informant to them.
How many a man? 3. You sure of that?
That guy, he really, he can warp, he can go into animals' minds. So he's like a lie detector, so John has to be careful. He's very sensitive person.
What happens to your eagle after I kill you? Does he drift away like a kite with his strings cut? I like you, boy. I'll pull your guts out through your throat.
That's a lie. It's not 1,000 men. It's probably 100. It's about 100 men at the complete Night's Watch.
We'll find
John thinks it must be about 300, because that was how many went with Commander Mormont. But most of them have been killed by now. So there's 100 left. John thought maybe 100 to 300, but he said 1,000.
Oh, it seems you owe me a debt.
So it was a lie. So that's a sign that he's still attached to the Night's Watch.
It's mine.
Maybe.
You want it? Come steal it.
Yeah.
Is all right?
That's the same cave where the previous scene, the sword fight between the Hound and Beric Dondarrion was filmed.
Oh yeah?
So they used it twice in the same episode.
Oh, right.
Just a different angle.
I want you to break him.
The safest course would be to take the whole arm off.
And you'll die. You know, Maester. What's your chain?
The Citadel stripped me of it. They found some of my experiments too bold. I can leave your upper arm, make the cut at your elbow.
No, that's not what you want to hear before such an operation, that your doctor doesn't have a license.
With rotting flesh.
No milk of the puppy.
Look at the poppy. That's what you need.
Scream.
Quite a bit of pain.
I'll scream loudly.
You know, Jamie, his character is all about not being afraid of anything, or making the world believe he's not afraid. We'll find out more about it. He is afraid, but he wants people to think that he's never afraid.
My father's a practical man. He appreciates facts.
Myself, I often find it.
And he appreciates those who aid his family, as you well know. He's almost as generous to those who help us as he is unpleasant towards those who don't.
They're a family. I've never had a family.
I can be a fool.
You wouldn't be my family. You'd be my lady.
Well, he has royal blood in his veins.
He doesn't know that.
Doesn't he?
No. No one knows of the people. Arya doesn't know.
Oh.
Is this a rescue?
You know, Ned Stark knew it, and he was killed before he told anyone else.
It's not a rescue.
You know, that's Lord Karstark who wants to revenge the son that Jaime has killed in his escape. The Karstarks next to the Boltons are the most important house in the north, next to the Starks.
Their wounds. You brought them supper. Now they're dead.
And more boys will keep dying until this war is over. You need Karstark men to end it.
Spare his life. Keep him as a hostage.
A hostage. Tell the Karstarks that as long as they remain loyal, you will not be harmed.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you reckon? Sounds like an idea.
You know, whatever he decides at this point, he's really not in a good position now, Rob. He has to do something.
And he's not in a good mood either.
Weather is bad. You know, it's really a shitty
through
day.
my veins as much as yours, boy. I fought the Mad King for your father. I fought Joffrey for you. We are kin. Stark and Karstark.
That didn't stop you from betraying me.
No,
Joffrey.
he never lost a battle, but he feels like he's losing the war, so it's really in a bad place at the moment.
Cimmerian.
And the Helm makes 6.
Second time I've been killed by a Clegane.
You think you'd learn? It's not getting any easier, you know.
You know, he should just be better at fighting. Would make
Yeah, I
it
reckon.
easier.
Yeah.
Work more on his sword skills.
True.
If you get chipped away.
Upon me. Protect me in the darkness.
We haven't met her yet.
Oh, she's still around.
Is this her first scene? Have you seen her before?
Help me.
Not sure if she was already. I'm sure.
Use me.
Oh, so that's not the red head witch.
No.
The night is
I
dark.
think that's the first scene with her.
Oh, that's
Full
fine.
of terrors.
Yeah.
Good gosh.
Sweet boy.
That's probably why he doesn't visit her that often.
She lives a life behind bars. She's crazy. She's dangerous. What's wrong with her?
You mean the wife or the daughter?
The daughter. Well, yeah. Well, the wife's crazy anyway.
I mean the daughter. She has a nice singing voice.
Yeah. It must be a cat show.
And she has grayscale is the name of this illness.
Mother said you fought in a
this
battle.
world.
Did you
It's a
win?
bit like what's the word? Leprosy.
Did the Onion Knight come back with you?
That it gets worse and worse often, but not with her. But with most people, it gets worse and worse until they are,
Hasn't
you
come
know.
to visit me. He said he'd
they're
bring me back a
monsters,
present from the
basically.
capital.
He won't be visiting, child.
Why not? He's my friend. Look,
And he's a nice dad, but he's very busy. Busy, friendly dad.
he made this for me. But don't tell Mother I have it. It's a secret. Mother doesn't like the
Davos
Onion
is
Knight.
the only one.
Sir Davos is a traitor. He's rotting in a dungeon cell for his
No,
crime.
Stannis is always honest. It's also a character trait. I told you the bath. It's the bath episode.
Oh yeah.
Not so hard. You'll scrub the skin off.
What are you doing here?
Need a bath.
It's the more iconic of the two baths in this episode.
Now get out.
It's his first bath in more than a year.
There's another tub.
This one suits me fine.
There it is. That's the look. Seen it for 17 years and face after face. You all despise me. So he had his pyromancer place caches of wildfire all over the city. We Fatal and the slums of Fleet Bottom. The whole Lannister army at his promising to defend the city against the rebels. Knew my father better than that. Reborn as a dragon, turn his enemies to ash. He slit his throat to make sure that didn't happen. That's where Ned Stark found me.
If this is true, why didn't you tell anyone? Why didn't you tell Lord Stark?
Stark? You think?
Why doesn't he wash himself properly? He's in a fucking bath.
On my side. He judged me guilty the moment he set eyes on me. By what right does the wolf judge the lion? By what right?
The Kingslayer!
Jamie. My name's Jamie.
You know that changes everything, the perspective on everything. Because in the first season, Ned Stark often talked, you know, looking down at Jamie and calling him Kingslayer.
I remember, yeah.
And everything Jamie said then seemed completely from a different perspective, like he doesn't give a care and so on. But the more, you know, we get to know Jamie, the more we know that he really is a tragic figure in a way. And he was like 18 years old when all that happened. So it was really not easy.
It was a bitch of a siege.
You were first to the preacher, Pike.
And now, again, another perspective on the war. Now I just talked about House of Mir, the one from the Brotherhood Without Banners. So this is also a different perspective. You have to remember they fought on different sides. He fought on the side of Robert and Ned, and Barristan fought for the Targaryens.
You can think of how badly I had to bid. And full plate metal for 16 hours. Never occurred to me till
Do you mean those helmets?
Robert wanted her dead.
Of course he wanted her dead.
No, Mormont now tries to find out subtly if Barristan knows that he was a spy.
He didn't sit on the small council.
No? Wasn't the Lord Commander of the King's Guard traditionally?
Traditionally, yes, but I killed a dozen of Robert's friends during his rebellion.
Because knows at the council it was discussed that he's spying for them.
Yeah.
Can't say I minded much. Always hated the politics.
I imagine I would too. I was spent jabbering about backstabbings and betrayals the world over.
Purpose.
What?
Isn't she a book owner character?
Yeah. She's a show owner.
Or a show owner
Yeah,
character.
she's
A show owner, yeah. That's the other way around,
yeah.
of course.
But the thing of, the storyline exists. It's just a different woman. Rob does have a wife, a girlfriend, who detracts him from the war effort. So that's the story with her. She's distracting him.
Okay.
And in the books that exists as well, but it's a different woman. It's a Lannister bannerman woman, which makes it even more drama in the books. But for some reason they thought it would get too complex with, if he marries a Lannister girl and so on.
I need men to replace the cast.
It's a bit of... She's really a very simplified
In
version
this
of
kingdom with
what
that
it is
kind
in
of
the
army who hasn't already sided with the Lannisters.
But the idea is
The man whose daughter
she distracts him, and she's maybe the reason why he's on a losing streak now. That's what's suggested of him. The Yoko Ono kind of story. Evil woman.
Do you have any idea when we might?
I'll plant the seed as soon as Joffrey and I are married.
Who's he? And who's the lucky girl?
She may not be the grandest ship in the world.
They're all playing their games with Sansa and she doesn't know anything. Poor thing.
You want to go home, don't you?
Of course, more than anything.
She wants to stay because she wants to marry Loras. And she doesn't know that he knows that. And he pretends he doesn't know it. So that's the dynamic.
I'd feel terrible if anything happened to me.
I can't tell you how touched I am by your concern for my welfare.
Doing here. Our business concerns her too. Sit.
So now we see the outcome of Littlefinger's maneuvering now.
Conversation with Banner Tyrell. I've saved the crown hundreds of thousands on this wedding.
Never mind that now. We have something important to discuss.
Do you really think it's wise to refuse them?
There's nothing to refuse. This is a plot. Plots are not public knowledge. And the Tyrells won't carry this one out until after Joffrey's wedding. We need to act first.
Of course, he knows this all from Littlefinger.
Crib.
And how do we do that?
We find Sansa Stark a different husband.
Wonderful.
Yes, it is.
You can't mean it. Be free of him and you give her to me? That's
For you intend on mistreating her? The girl's happiness is not my concern, nor should it be yours.
She's a child!
She's flowered, I assure you. She and I have discussed it at length.
You'll marry Sir Loras. He's heir to High Garden. Tyrion will secure the north, you will secure the Reach.
No, I won't do it.
Yes, you will. You're still again and breed.
I am Queen Regent, not some broodmare.
You're my daughter!
Yeah, I think that was a great episode. I think that's one of the 20 best episodes and one of the 10 best we had.
I really enjoyed the look on her face.
Yeah.
The raised eyebrow.
Yeah, I think it's an episode with great acting. And the Jaime scene may be one of the best talking scenes of the show.
Yeah.
So that was episode 5 and we'll go on next week, I guess, with episode 6.